Welcome back to 405 Sports here. We're going to do an MLB update video, just me today. A little disclaimer here. I've been working a lot, so I haven't been paying attention as much as I normally would to MLB season. And the Cardinals, my team sucks, so that kind of ruins it for me a little bit. But I'll try to provide what I know. Starting in the AL East here, probably one of the best divisions in all of baseball. 3 or 4 playoff teams for sure. Tampa Bay Rays have led wire to wire. That team's a juggernaut. They're slowing down a little bit. That's still a team I wouldn't want to face. They got a really, really good rotation. Some dogs on that team. Randy's playing good. Lau's playing good. That's a good team. The Orioles, outside of pitching, have been really good. They have a phenomenal offense, and they're starting to pull up some of those young guys. Man, Colton Cowser got pulled up today as I film this. That's a good young team that's starting to have fun again, kind of like they did last year towards the end of the season. Happy to see them good. It's fun. The Yankees, they've taken a little bit of a hit here with Judge going down. I believe they came out and said today that he was going to come back. It was just going to have to play through the toe. It's something that doesn't normally go away, so you're just going to have to play through the pain. They still have an interesting way to look at this All-Star break here. They have a couple pitchers that aren't thrown. Rodon still hasn't thrown yet. They got a perfect game out of Domingo Germán, but I would expect the Yankees to maybe go after some starting pitching or maybe a good bat around the All-Star break. That'll probably be what they look into doing. The Blue Jays been experimenting a little bit with Alek Manoah, their normal ace, but Gosman has kind of filled into that role. Manoah's got sent down, and he got shelled in his first outing, and then he did okay the other day in Double-A, I think, and then I'm filming this Wednesday. I think Manoah's going to throw Friday again in the MLB. I don't know what's going on there. I'm assuming it was kind of the pitch clock maybe messing him up. That's my best guess, because he's been really, really good the last couple of years, and his downfalls kind of come out of nowhere. The stats would say last year that it was coming. He had some regression coming, but still a good pitcher. The Red Sox here, pretty good team. Even though they lost Bogarts, I didn't expect this. I knew Ralphie would be good. Masataka Yoshida's been great, and Verdugo's been really, really good. That's a surprising good team. I figured they'd be sellers going into the All-Star break, but that could be a team that potentially buys or holds. But unfortunately, they just play in a really good division. Moving on to the Central, probably the worst division in baseball. The Twins and the Guardians here, those will be the two teams fighting for that playoff spot. The Twins have a really good rotation going in Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan, and Pablo Lopez. They've been good. The offense is not great from time to time, and that's the same story down here with the Guardians. Good rotation. Bats are struggle at times. I don't know if either one of those teams will make a move. If anyone did, I think it'd be the Guardians, maybe getting rid of Bieber and trying to acquire some bats for that. Tigers, they're better than I thought they would be. Honestly, I didn't have them above the White Sox. I could see them being better than the Royals, but they've got some young guys that are starting to play better. Torkelson is actually playing a little bit better, and Riley Green. Those dudes are studs, and they need to be for the Tigers to be good, but their timeline is just not right now. The White Sox, I would imagine, is a fire sale at the All-Star break. Dudes like Tim Anderson, Dylan Cease, Lucas Giolito, Maybe Eloy Jimenez. I mean, those dudes, Yasmani Grandal, I mean, those dudes are probably gone. I don't know what is going on there. Got rid of Tony La Russa and thought that could maybe solve things. It really didn't. I expect them to be sellers. The Royals, they'll stay put. Man, that's not a good roster. They don't have good pitching at all. They got Bobby Witt Jr., and that's about all they got going for them. Michael Massey, I mean, not a good team. The West here, surprising division. The Rangers, we knew they could be good. They made big moves this offseason, one being DeGrom, even though we haven't really seen him. Eovaldi's been great. Their bats, Adolis Garcia is an all-star. Corey Seager and Marcus Semien have lived up to the hype. I said they would be due for some regression, but that was a long time ago. I didn't think they'd get to 51 wins that quickly. But within the last month, 2 weeks, they've started to slow down. I would imagine the Astros will overtake them for first place, but the Rangers are still a playoff team. Now, the Astros, they had to wait a little bit to get Altuve back, and then obviously they picked it up when they got Altuve. Hunter Brown, I think he's classified as a rookie. Their pitcher, he's unbelievable. Framber's still good. Luis Garcia went down. I think he's out for the year. They might make a move for pitching, maybe. Anyways, that's the Houston Astros, though. They'll be good going into the second half of the season and probably win the division and probably win the World Series. The Angels, Mike Trout heads to the IL again. It's a matter of when, not if anymore. Shohei is still the best player to ever play the sport, but I just don't know if he'll be in Los Angeles anymore. Made a bunch of moves this offseason to see if they could rally the troops, and it's the same old 500 baseball. I mean, they could obviously get hot in this last couple weeks, I guess week before the All-Star break, but the trade deadline's August 1st. If they want to hold on to some pieces, then they're going to need to get hot here the last 2 weeks or so. Mariners, shocking. This was a playoff team last year. They have a good rotation. George Kirby and Luis Castillo. Obviously, Robbie Ray went down early in the year, but I mean, that's a good team. I don't understand what's going on there. I would say I expect them to pick it up, but we're 84 games into the season and they haven't. That's a little scary for Mariners fans. The A's, not even gonna say it. Man, that is a horrific baseball team. Now in the National League, the Braves. The Braves are a freaking juggernaut. Matt Olson's playing unbelievable. Acuna's playing unbelievable. Sean Murphy's been good. I mean, Ozzie Riley's been good. Ozzie Albies has been good. That team's unreal. And they don't even have all their pitching pieces yet, but their new one, Bryce Elder, has been phenomenal. The Braves look like the favorites, maybe of the entire MLB. The Marlins, this is a shock here. They took the Cardinals coach, Skip Shoemaker, and he's making us look like fools. Luis Ariz has been amazing, but the only surprise there is Sandy has not been that good, and that's a pitcher that everyone would think would just thrive whenever, wherever, and he hasn't been that good, but the Marlins have been good. They've been really, really good in one-run games, and they might lead the league in comebacks. That's a good team for sure. That good though? I don't know. I think the Phillies might catch them, but we'll see. The Phillies started off horrendous. Got Bryce Harper, their leader, back. They're still missing Rhys Hoskins. He won't come back, but his presence not being there is definitely felt. Picked it up over this last month, playing like the Phillies team we saw last year in the World Series. Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler are picking it back up, and that's a good team for sure. The Mets, Frank the Tank, man, he's calling it there. I don't understand, man. They're not playing good, even with Pete playing good. Uh, Guys like Verlander and Scherzer just not having their edge that they normally have. I'm a little nervous for them. It's getting a little late to make a big run. They're not going to win the division. They're just going to have to fight for a wild card spot. The Nationals, you kind of expected this. They've got some bright spots in that team, but they're not ready for a year or two. The Central, here we got the Reds, which they pushed all their chips forward. Brought up Matt McClain, Benson, Ellie De La Cruz. Brought up all their different pitchers, even with dudes like Nick Lodolo going down. This team's been really, really good, and they're fun to watch mostly because of Ellie. I would have told you they'd slow down, but they haven't, man. I think they could. They've got a real shot to win the division, and I hope they do. Out of these teams, being a Cardinals fan, I'd want the Reds to win for sure. That's for sure what I would like for to happen. Brewers, the same old boring team that they've always been. Really good pitching, no offense. Yeah, Yelich, man, what's going on? Pirates, really hot start. Now they got back to playing Pirates baseball, and they're tanking again. You knew losing O'Neal Cruz would hurt, and it's showing. That's just the team that caught fire early and then cooled down a bit and is playing to their abilities. The Cubs, you didn't know with all the different pieces they added this year, like Dansby and Cody Bellinger, how they would turn out. They looked all right to start the year, but they're probably a 500 team at best. And then my Cardinals have been horrible. Pitching's been atrocious, and even the hitting at times has been very questionable. Nolan Arenado's an all-star, but it really doesn't feel like he's played that good. Same with dudes like Goldie. I mean, it's depressing. I don't think we should be sellers at the deadline, but if we were, it would not surprise me, especially someone like Paul Goldschmidt with an expiring contract. Hurts to watch, the worst team I've watched in my lifetime, so it's a little new to me, but fire Ollie. The D-backs, fun young team. Looks like they got one of the best players in baseball in Corbin Carroll. They're fun to watch, man. I'm hoping they can pull through. I'm assuming the Dodgers will, in Dodger fashion, will come back and end up taking that division from them. Dodgers really been aided by Freddie and Mookie. I mean, those studs are carrying them. Lost a little pitching depth. I expect that to come back, and then they'll return to their form. They're not as good as they normally are, but that's still a really good team. The Giants, I'm not really sure where this is coming from. Logan Webb's been outstanding, but I mean, they really didn't do anything from last year, and they weren't great last year, but they could fight for a playoff spot and be all right. The Padres, that's been a shock with all this star power they've got on their team. Would expect them to be better for sure, and they're starting to play better a little bit. As much as I dislike him, Fernando's been really, really good. I don't know. Maybe you could get rid of dudes like Josh Hader and Blake Snell at the deadline, but other than that, I don't expect him to do too much. And the Rockies, man, just what is going on? You're not even scoring runs, and you play in a space station, man. That's just not a good time to be a Rockies fan, and I don't see the future getting better anytime soon. Not a good team, man. The Orioles are for sure a playoff team. I would say the Astros are for sure a playoff team. This is where it'll get interesting. I'm assuming it'll be a two-team race between the Yankees and the Blue Jays, or whoever flips in the West division there. In the National League, Phillies are hot. I expect them to for sure make the wild card. None of these will be in the fight. It'll just be who wins the division. And the Marlins, I think they'll stay put. I think those three might just be the wild card if they don't take over first in their respective division. But I think the playoff teams might be pretty close to being set. I'm not gonna lie. And the Guardians obviously can get in there if they get over the Twins. But that's about it for the update. Man, we're getting close. The All-Star breaks in like 3 days, and then August 1st is the trade deadline. That's whenever we'll really be able to tell what's going to happen. And but for now, it's been pretty steady. No real big shakeups yet. We'll see. Sometimes there's normally a team that rises up, like the Phillies did last year after the break, and after then we'll see who's World Series material. Thank you.